Just sign. The house is sold. And the kid, with you? With me? Why don't we ask him? There's nothing easy about being an adult. Some debts you have to carry together, even after the divorce papers are signed. This isn't a movie. There's no magical reconciliation. When you have something, you just have to hold on and hope for the best. My phone screen lit up, Linda's name flashing on the display. I swiped to answer. Where are you? Her voice was flat, scrubbed of all emotion. In the car, almost at the subdivision entrance. Okay, hurry up. The line went dead. I eased off the gas, slowing the car and turning onto the access road. Weekend traffic at dusk was thick as molasses. The wipers smeared the grime on the windshield in lazy arcs. She rarely rushed me. Today was different. Today, the realtor was coming. We were selling the house. I put the key in the lock, but before I could turn it, the door opened from the inside. Linda stood there in that old gray cardigan, holding an empty cardboard box. She didn't look at me, just stepped aside to let me pass. Mike just called. Said he's stuck in traffic, running 10 minutes late. Oh, I took off my shoes, my eyes catching on the small mountain of boxes in the living room. One was still open, a baseball bat sticking out. I'd bought it for our son, Alex, the day we went to the batting cages. He'd hit a home run on his first try. Where's Alex? In his room, gaming. She jerked her chin toward his bedroom. I told him. He didn't really react. My throat tightened. I managed to quiet him. Our conversations were always like this now, like running down a checklist, terrified of adding a single unnecessary word. The realtor, Mike Johnson, was a loud man whose voice shattered the stagnant air the moment he walked in. David, Linda, sorry to keep you waiting. This traffic is just brutal, absolutely brutal. He dropped his briefcase and expertly pulled out a folder, a laser measure, and a camera. So, shall we take a look around? Like a pair of puppets, we followed him from room to room. The layout is fantastic, north-south exposure, and you've kept it in great shape. Linda, you've really kept this place neat as a pin. Feels so bright and open. Linda didn't respond. After measuring the master bedroom, Mike turned to me. David, this mark on the wall. Was there a painting here? Our wedding photo, I said. The smile on his face froze for a fraction of a second before snapping back into place. Oh, right. Great. A nail hole is nothing. We can patch that right up, no problem. He walked to Alex's bedroom and knocked. Hey, buddy, mind if I pop in for a second to get some measurements? The sound of the game inside paused. The door opened a crack. Alex's face was a pale sliver in the shadows. Go ahead. Mike was in and out in less than a minute. Alex shut the door, and the game sound effects roared back to life. The whole time, he never once looked at me or Linda. Back in the living room, Mike spread his documents on the coffee table. Okay, so, as we discussed, a comparable unit in this complex sold last month for $520,000. The market's a little soft right now, so I'd recommend listing at $518. Leaves a little room to negotiate. What do you two think? $515, Linda said. Mike looked at me. Do what she says, I nodded. All right, love the decisiveness. We'll list at $515. This is the listing agreement, if you two would just look it over. He handed over the pen. Linda signed first, her name sharp and efficient. I took the pen. The barrel felt slippery in my hand. I paused after writing the first letter of my name. David, Linda's voice. I finished my signature. Perfect. I'll get this in the system right away. I'll contact you both in advance when I have clients for a showing. I'll try to group them together so we don't disrupt your lives too much. Mike packed up his agreement, made a few more pleasantries, and hurried out. The door clicked shut, and the house was quiet again, except for us and the boxes. I'm not eating tonight, Linda said, bending over to tape up the box with a baseball bat. Let's go out, I said. One last time. Her hand stilled on the tape dispenser. There's nothing here. I packed up the plates and silverware. The diner down the street is still open. She straightened up and looked at me. I couldn't read her expression. Should we get Alex? We should. The diner wasn't crowded. We took our usual booth by the wall. Alex hunched over his burger and fries, his phone propped against the ketchup bottle, a video of a gaming walkthrough playing on the screen. Alex, I said. He grunted without looking up. We're selling the house. So, after this, are you going to live with me? Or with your mom? The video's audio cut out. He'd hit pause, his fork nudging a stray pickle on his plate. Whatever. It's not whatever. Linda's voice was sharp. Alex finally looked up, glancing from me to her. Fine. I'll go with Dad. The air in the booth seemed to solidify. The fingers of Linda's hand, wrapped around her coffee mug, had gone white. Why? She asked, her voice barely a whisper. Dad's new place is closer to school. With that, Alex looked back down, hit play, and the loud, chaotic voice of the gamer filled the silence once more. Linda didn't speak again. She picked up her spoon and slowly stirred her coffee. Once, then again. I watched her. She kept stirring, her head bowed low, long after the sugar must have dissolved. My phone buzzed in my pocket. I pulled it out. A text from Mike. David, I have our first showing tomorrow at 10 a.m. Does that work for you? I typed back. Yes. Who is it? Linda asked. Her coffee was untouched. The realtor. The showing tomorrow at 10. Oh. She took a napkin and dabbed her lips, her movements slow and deliberate. Let's go back. There are still some of your things you need to pack yourself. In the corner of the den was my box. On top was a thick copy of Architectural Graphic Standards, the edges of the pages soft and frayed. It had moved with me several times. Underneath were some old magazines and a faded gray t-shirt from my college lacrosse team, the collar worn through. At the very bottom, my fingers hit a small hard box. I picked it up, a small, black velvet ring box. The fabric was pilled and worn. I opened it. There was no ring inside, just 2 faded movie ticket stubs. They were so brittle they felt like they might crumble. Before sunrise. The date was from 10 years ago. That night, after the movie, we had kissed at an empty bus stop. She said she was cold, and I wrapped my coat around her. That coat was probably still buried at the bottom of the closet. Footsteps. I closed the box, tossed it back into the carton, and folded the flaps over. Linda was standing in the doorway, holding a clear document sleeve. The purchase agreement, receipts, proof of paid HOA dues, and the utility account cards. She placed a folder on the desk. Give these to the realtor. It'll make things easier for potential buyers. Okay. She turned to leave. Linda. She stopped but didn't turn around. That diner. It hasn't changed. She was silent for a few seconds. The price of a burger went up $5. She left. The next morning, Mike brought a young couple to see the house. The woman was bubbly and excited, taking pictures in every room. Honey, look, I love this bay window. We could put a cushion here and read in the sun. The man was more practical, peppering Mike with questions about mortgage rates and property taxes. I stood in the corner of the living room, watching them. Alex's door was closed. Linda was on the balcony, her back to us, watering a few dying houseplants. The woman slid open the closet in the master bedroom. It's huge. Linda's watering paused. The watering can tilted slightly, a thin stream of water missing the pot and hitting the concrete floor. I had designed that closet, knocked down a wall to make it bigger. Linda had a lot of clothes. The man walked over to me. Sir, can I ask how much the renovations cost you when you did them? I looked at his young, eager face and couldn't answer for a moment. I don't remember. Mike jumped in smoothly. David and Linda lived here themselves, so they used top-of-the-line materials. Look at these floors, solid hardwood, not a warp in them. The woman wandered onto the balcony. Ma'am, are you keeping these plants? Linda put down the watering can and slowly straightened up. No. Could I have them then? I love this little pot. It was a cactus. I had bought it. I told her it would absorb radiation from the computer. She never paid any attention to it, but somehow it was still alive. Take it, Linda said. Thank you, ma'am. Linda walked in from the balcony, avoiding everyone's gaze, and went straight into Alex's room, closing the door behind her. The young woman happily continued planning her future with her boyfriend. I stared at the closed bedroom door. There wasn't a sound from inside. The viewers left. Alex's door opened. Linda walked out, her eyes a little red, but her expression was calm. She was holding a video game case. This was Alex's. It fell under the bed. She placed it on the console table by the door, where a few other odds and ends were piled, ready to go. I'm going to my mom's this afternoon. What about your stuff? Mostly done. Whatever's left, you can deal with. Throw out what you don't want. She picked up her purse and put on her shoes. When the money comes through, wire it to my account. I know. She opened the door. Linda, her hand froze on the doorknob. That cactus. I bought that. She stood there, her back rigid. After a long moment, she said softly, I know. The door closed with a soft click. The house was completely silent. I walked out to the balcony. A small puddle was drying on the concrete. The cactus was gone, leaving behind a clean, circular mark. My phone buzzed again. It was Mike. David, great news. That young couple from this morning loved the place. They're good with the price, but they were wondering if you could leave some of the furniture and appliances. Their budget is a little tight. Fine. Fantastic. I'll get in touch with them right away. I think we can get a signed agreement pretty soon. Thanks for your hard work. I hung up and went back to the den, staring at the box. I bent down and picked up the small, black velvet box again. I opened it. 2 fragile ticket stubs. I flipped them over. Her handwriting, in blue ballpoint pen, was so faded it had nearly vanished. We were in the crush of the crowd, leaving the theater, when she grabbed my arm and scribbled on the back. It said, "Forever," below it in my own Messier script, obviously, followed by a huge, emphatic exclamation point. I closed the box and slipped it into my pocket. Outside, the sky was darkening. Tomorrow, there would probably be another group of people coming to see the house. The doorbell rang again. I checked the time. 8:03 p.m. Not Mike. He never brought clients at night. Through the peephole, I saw her. Linda. I opened the door. "Forget something?" I asked. She didn't answer, just walked straight past me, her steps quick and purposeful, heading for the kitchen. She pulled open a bottom drawer and crouched down, fumbling around inside. I leaned against the doorframe, watching. She pulled out a long, thin, silver clip, the kind you use to seal a bag of potato chips. "You came back for this. It cost a dime. It's mine," she said, her voice a little hard. Nobody said it wasn't. She walked past me, a tiny gust of wind in her wake. The same faint scent of laundry detergent. At the door, she put on her shoes quickly. "Alex's school registration is tomorrow. 9 a.m. Don't be late." "I know." The door clicked shut. I walked to the kitchen and pulled open a drawer. It was half empty, with just a few lonely rubber bands left inside. The next morning, 8:20. I knocked on Alex's door. "I'm up." 10 minutes, a muffled voice came from inside. At 8:35, he still hadn't come out. I knocked again. The door opened. He was in his school uniform. Hair mess, backpack slung over one shoulder. "Let's go." We flagged a taxi downstairs. He slid in, leaned against the window, and pulled out his phone. We didn't speak the entire way. The school entrance was a chaotic mess of cars and people. Parents, students, a wall of noise. Alex pushed the door open. "What time should I pick you up?" I asked, rolling down the window. "Don't. I'll get home myself." He didn't look back, just squeezed into the crowd. The car sat there. I watched his back until he was completely swallowed by the throng. The driver tapped the meter. "You going?" "Yeah." Mike's call came through, his voice competing with a noisy background. "David, it's a done deal. That young couple. They agreed to your price, $515. They want to get the paperwork done as soon as possible." "How soon?" "ASAP. They're worried prices will go up." "How about tomorrow? Can you come in to sign the contract?" "I can." "Perfect. I'll set it up. I'll text you the time and place." I hung up and sent a text to Linda. "House is sold. Signing tomorrow. We'll send you the time and place when I get it." A few minutes later, she replied, "Okay, I'll be on time." That afternoon, I started packing the last of my things. Just the kitchen and the bathroom were left. Her stuff was long gone. I didn't have much. Under the sink, I found half a bottle of whiskey I'd forgotten I'd stashed there. I poured a small glass, no ice, and kept packing as I drank. I didn't touch Alex's room. He said he'd pack his own things. At the bottom of his closet, I felt a hardbound book. A photo album. I opened it to the first page. A wedding photo. She was in a white dress, smiling so hard her eyes crinkled. I stood beside her, my arms stiff. Page 2. The honeymoon. A beach, waves. She was tan, her nose peeling slightly. Page 3. She was pregnant, wearing a loose dress, her hand on her belly, smiling for the camera. Page 4. The hospital. She was holding a newborn Alex, her hair stuck to her forehead with sweat, her face exhausted but still smiling. I stood by the bed, grinning like an idiot. Page 5. I closed the album and put it in one of the boxes to take with me. The glass was empty. The lock turned. Alex was home. He glanced at the boxes in the living room, said nothing, and disappeared into his room. I walked to his door. "We're signing the papers tomorrow afternoon. Your mom will be there too." "Okay. You should pack your stuff. Box up what you want to keep, throw out the rest. Don't have much." He opened his closet, pulled out a few shirts, and stuffed them into his backpack. "There are boxes in the living room. Don't need him." He kept stuffing, the backpack bulging. "That photo album, your mom put it together. It's in your closet," I said. His movements paused for a second. "Oh, do you want it?" "Whatever." He zipped up his backpack, the sound harsh and grating. We signed the contracts at the realtor's office, in a small conference room. Linda was already there, sitting on one side of the long table. I sat on the other. The young couple and Mike sat in the middle. A mountain of paperwork, little yellow sticky notes marked where we needed to sign. "David, Linda, this is the purchase and sale agreement. Please look it over, and if everything's in order, just sign where the tabs are." Mike pushed 2 thick stacks of paper toward us. He handed us the pens. Linda started signing, page after page. The soft scratch of the pen filled the room. I picked up my pen. First page. Name. Date. Turn the page. Sign again. It felt like filling out a stack of meaningless forms. Toward the end, on the pages about closing disclosures and transferring the title, Mike's phone rang. He gave an apologetic smile and stepped out to take the call. The atmosphere tensed. The young man cleared his throat. The woman looked at Linda and asked quietly, "Ma'am, the shelving on your balcony, is it drilled into the wall? We were thinking of taking it down." Linda looked up at her. "Yes. Be careful when you remove it. The tile is easy to crack." "Oh, okay, thank you." Mike came back in, beaming. All right, let's keep going." The last document was signed. Mike let out a long breath. "Done. I'll handle the rest of the paperwork. You two just wait for the funds to be transferred." The young couple smiled and shook our hands. "Thank you so much." Her hand was cold. So was mine. We walked out of the realtor's office. The sunlight was blinding. "I'm heading out," Linda said, turning to walk in the opposite direction. "Mom." Alex was standing under the shade of a tree by the curb. He must have been waiting. Linda stopped and turned. "What are you doing here?" "Just checking." Linda walked over to him. "Have you eaten?" "Yeah." "Have enough money?" "Yeah." "Call me if you need anything." "I know." Alex kicked at a loose stone on the sidewalk. "I'm going." "Okay." Alex turned and walked toward the bus stop. Linda watched his back, not moving. The bus arrived and swallowed him whole. Only then did she turn and walk away in the other direction. She didn't look at me once. The day the money was deposited, I transferred Linda's half. I entered the numbers and hit confirm. The phone buzzed with a success notification. Almost simultaneously, a text from her arrived. "Received." Not a word more. I called her. "Is there something else?" She answered immediately. "Child support for Alex." "Should I set up a monthly transfer?" "No. We'll split tuition and living expenses 50-50. For major expenses, we split them as they come." "What do we split them?" "Send me the bill. I'll transfer my half." "Okay." A few seconds of silence. "That cactus," I said suddenly. "Don't blame me if it dies." There was a hitch in her breath on the other end. "If it dies, I'll throw it out." She hung up. The day the movers came was overcast. There wasn't much. A few boxes, a suitcase. Alex stood by the door, his backpack on. "One last look?" I asked. He shook his head. The movers loaded the last box onto the truck and closed the door. The engine started. I watched the building shrink in the rearview mirror. Alex was looking down, his fingers flying across his phone screen. He was playing a game. The loud sound effects filled the entire cab. I leaned back against the seat and closed my eyes. Through the noise, I thought I heard a tiny sniffle. It was faint and quickly swallowed by the sounds of the game. I didn't open my eyes. The truck turned the corner, and the building was gone. The rental was in an old part of the city, a 6th-floor walk-up. Alex took the stairs ahead of me, his steps heavy. I opened the door. A smell of dust and disinfectant hit me. Alex threw his backpack in a corner of the living room. "Which room's mine?" "The one on the left. The window faces south." He went in and closed the door. I started unpacking the boxes. Clothes, books, toiletries. The last box was surprisingly light. The photo album slid out and fell to the floor open. It had landed on a picture of Alex's 3rd birthday, his face smeared with cake, the three of us laughing. I closed it and shoved it onto the bottom shelf of the bookcase. The phone rang. "Linda, Alex's homeroom teacher just contacted me. Parent-teacher conference tomorrow. It's the new semester kickoff. You're going." "Why me?" "I went last time." "Time and place." 7 p.m. In his classroom. "Don't be late." She hung up. I knocked on Alex's door. "What?" "Parent-teacher conference tomorrow. 7. The game sounds didn't stop. "Got it." The next day, 6:50 p.m. A seating chart was taped to the classroom door. I found Alex's name. Second to last row by the window. I took a seat. The chair felt a little small. A mom next to me glanced over. "First time? I haven't seen you before." "Yeah, I'm Kevin's mom. Your son is." "Alex Miller." "Oh." Her expression shifted subtly. "The one who's really good at video games." The teacher came in. She started talking about graduation requirements, GPA distributions. I listened, drumming my fingers on my knee. She called out a few students for praise. Alex wasn't one of them. She mentioned that certain students are having trouble focusing and are distracted by electronic devices. A few parents glanced in my direction. My phone buzzed in my pocket. "Linda." I declined a call. She texted, "How's it going?" I replied, "Fine." The teacher finished with, "Could Alex Miller's parent please stay behind for a moment?" Everyone filed out. The teacher walked over. "Mr. Miller? It's usually Ms. Harris who comes, right?" Alex is a smart kid, but his performance has been slipping. His scores on the last few quizzes were not good. He's often sleeping in class. I'll talk to him. It's not just about talking. She adjusted her glasses. "Is everything all right at home?" "Everything's fine. I hope we can count on your cooperation. This is a critical time for him." "Understood." Walking out of the school, my phone buzzed again. "Linda, what did the teacher say?" I called her back. "He's sleeping in class. Grades are dropping." Silence on the other end. You need to handle him, she said. How? You're his father, and you're his mother. I hung up. When I got home, light was leaking from under Alex's door. I pushed it open. He was wearing headphones, fingers flying across the keyboard. Parent-teacher conference. He didn't turn around. Teacher said you're sleeping in class. Tired. Why are you tired? Can't sleep. Why can't you sleep? He slammed his mouse down. Why do you think? A voice from his headset crackled. Alex. What's up, man? Heal me. He reached for his headset. I put my hand on his wrist. We need to talk. Nothing to talk about. He shook my hand off. The screen went gray. Game over. Damn it. He kicked the computer tower. Is this game more important than anything else? I asked. What else is there? He stared at the screen. It's better than watching you two fake a smile. Saturday morning. The doorbell rang. Alex opened it. Mom. Linda stood in the doorway, holding a grocery bag. I was in the neighborhood. Bought some fruit. She walked in, her eyes scanning the living room. The boxes weren't all unpacked yet. It was a mess. She put the bag on the table. Apples, oranges, and a pack of the yogurt he used to love as a kid. Getting used to it? She asked Alex. It's okay. And school. It's whatever. She turned to me. Your father said you've been up all night playing games. Alex didn't say anything. Let me see your phone, she said. Alex didn't move. Alex. He slowly pulled his phone out of his pocket and handed it to her. Linda swiped it open and tapped the screen a few times. Her face darkened. You're playing until 2 in the morning. Can't sleep. And why can't you sleep? What do you think? He shot back, his voice rising. Linda threw the phone onto the sofa. From now on, you hand over your phone at 10 o'clock. I'll be checking your screen time every day. You don't even live here. You'll listen to me as long as I'm your mother. Why should I? Who are you to me? Linda raised her hand. Alex stuck out his chin, defiant. Her hand stopped midair. It didn't fall. She lowered it, taking a deep breath. Fine. I won't bother. She turned and walked out. The door slammed shut. Alex kicked over the trash can. 10 o'clock that night. I knocked on Alex's door. Phone. No answer. I pushed the door open. He was lying in bed, headphones on. The phone. It's 10. He took off his headphones. You're good at remembering what she says. Hand it over. He tossed it to me. I caught it. Lock screen code. Your birthday. He rolled over, his back to me. I pressed the power button. I typed in the numbers. It unlocked. The background was a photo of the 3 of us at the aquarium. He was sitting on my shoulders and Linda was leaning against me, smiling. I backed out of settings and opened the screen time report. A daily average of 8 hours. I went back. My thumb hovered over the photos icon. Don't look. His voice was muffled by the pillow. I turned off the screen. Go to sleep. Monday morning. The phone rang. Linda. His homeroom teacher called me again. He hasn't turned in his math homework for a week. I know. You know, and you're not doing anything. I took his phone last night. And? You think that will make him a model student? What do you want me to do? She took a deep breath on the other end. I'll talk to him. Do what you want. When I got home from work, there was an extra pair of women's running shoes by the door. Linda was sitting on the living room sofa. Alex's door was closed. How did the talk go? I asked. He won't open the door. I knocked. Alex, come out. No response. I tried the doorknob. Lock. Kick it in, Linda said. I gave a kick. The door shuddered. A roar came from inside. Get out. I kicked it again. The door flew open. Alex's eyes were red. Will you two just leave me alone? Linda stood up. Why didn't you do your homework? I don't get it. Which part? I'll teach you. I don't need your help. What do you want? To just keep failing? Yeah, I'll fail. It's not like you guys want me anyway. Linda raised her hand. This time it connected. The sound was sharp. Alex froze. I froze. He touched his cheek, his eyes looking like he'd been stabbed. You're right. We don't want you. Linda's voice trembled. Nobody want a failure. She grabbed her bag and stormed out. Alex slammed his door. Locked it. I could hear muffled sobs from inside. I stood at the door, raised my hand, and then let it fall. The next morning, Alex's door was open. He came out, uniform neat, eyes swollen. I'm leaving. Wait, I said. He stopped. Here. I handed him an envelope. What is it? The year-long pass to the aquarium. Your mom left it. He held the envelope, not saying anything. She didn't leave last night. She sat in her car downstairs all night. He looked up at me. I bought breakfast this morning. I pointed to the bagels and juice on the table. He picked up the juice, poking the straw through the foil. Phone. I handed it to him. He took it and shoved it in his pocket. I'll turn it in at 10 myself. Okay. He took a bite of his bagel and headed for the door. Alex. He turned back. We want you, I said. He stared at me for a second, then turned and went down the stairs. His footsteps were fast, like he was running. Friday night. Alex didn't come home. 10 o'clock. The phone wasn't turned in. I called him. It went straight to voicemail. I called Linda. Is Alex with you? No. What's wrong? He's not home. Phone's off. A pause on the other end. Have you checked with his friends? I don't have their numbers. I'll ask in the parent group chat. She hung up. 5 minutes later, she called back. Kevin's mom said she saw them going to a gaming lounge. I'm sending you the address. The lounge was hazy with smoke. I found him in the back row. Alex had his headset on, leaning forward, pounding the keyboard. Kevin was next to him. I stood behind him. His character died in a flurry of on-screen gunfire. The screen went gray. He swore, leaned back in his chair, and saw me. He froze. Oh, I said. Kevin quickly took off his headset. Hey, Mr. Miller. Alex didn't move. Let me finish this match. Now, people were starting to look. He threw his headset down. Fine. Let's go. He stormed toward the exit. Kevin whispered, Dude, your dad's intense. Alex ignored him. Linda was standing by the entrance. Her car was parked at the curb. She looked at Alex. You've really grown up. Alex looked down, kicking at a pebble. Phone. I held out my hand. He pulled it out and gave it to me. Get in the car. Linda opened the back door. Alex climbed in. I got in the passenger seat. The air in the car was frozen solid. Which lounge was it? Linda started the car, her voice calm. Starfall. Alex said quietly. Next time, pick a different one. The ventilation in that place is terrible. Alex's head shot up. Mom, the air filters are probably busted. The whole place smells like smoke. The keyboards are sticky, and your headset had a hole in it patched with electrical tape. She glanced in the rearview mirror. If you're going to play, at least find a decent spot. Alex's mouth hung open. He was speechless. Why'd you skip class to go? I asked. Bombed a quiz. Was pissed off. What did you get? Linda asked. 52. Where's the paper? Threw it out. Go find it tomorrow, Linda said, turning the steering wheel. I want to see it. Okay. We pulled up to the building. Alex got out. Linda didn't turn off the engine. You can go up, she said. Alex stopped. Mom, aren't you coming up? No. Alex looked at me, then at her. Oh, he turned and went inside. I looked at Linda. You really remembered all those details about the lounge. I guessed. They're all like that. She shifted into drive. I'm leaving. The car pulled away. I went upstairs. Alex's door was open. He was at his desk, a math workbook spread open in front of him. Did you really throw out the quiz? I asked. Yeah. Which section did you lose the most points on? The word problems. I picked up the workbook, flipping to the last few pages. Do them now. I'll take a look. He hesitated for a second, then picked up his pen. I pulled up a chair and sat down. He worked slowly, erasing several times. This step, I said, pointing to a line. You used the wrong formula. He crossed it out and started again. Dad, yeah, I'm surprised you know this stuff. I got an A in calculus. You're full of it. Your mom can vouch for me. She got a C-. I tutored her. His pen stopped for a moment. Oh, he went back to writing. My phone rang. Linda, is he asleep? He's doing his homework. You're tutoring him. Yeah. Silence on the other end for a few seconds. Which problem? Functions. He's mixing up the domain and range. Tell him to draw a number line. He did. Send me a picture. I took a photo and sent it. She called back. His approach to the second part is wrong. He needs to redefine the helper function. You hear that? I asked Alex. Yeah. He took the phone. Mom, why is this part? He listened, nodding, scribbling on a piece of scratch paper. Okay, got it. Thanks, Mom. He hung up and kept writing. After 10 minutes of silence. Dad, yeah, were you guys always like this? Like what? Talking about homework over the phone. Yeah, a lot. He didn't ask anything else. Saturday morning. The doorbell rang. Alex opened it. Mom. Linda stood there, holding a bag of breakfast. Bagels and coffee. Eat it while it's hot. She came in, set the bag down, and glanced at his desk. Did you finish the corrections? Yeah. Alex handed her the workbook. She took it and looked it over. Your work is too messy. Copy it over neatly. Ugh. Don't ugh me. Do it. Alex pulled out a fresh notebook. Linda sat down, picked up a bagel, broken in half, and handed one piece to me. Got it from the place downstairs. Still tastes the same. I took it. The warm, toasty smell filled the air. Alex looked up at us, then went back to neatly copying his work. Sunlight streamed in, landing on the crisp white paper. Monday after school, Alex didn't come home on time. At 6:30, his phone's GPS showed he was at the East Side Sports Complex. I called him. Where are you? The gym. Basketball game. Whose game? The school team's scrimmage. Kevin dragged me here. When does it end? Don't know. I could hear cheering and whistles in the background. Send me your location. Let me know when it's over. I hung up. 10 minutes later, a text from Linda came in. Did he tell you where he is? I forwarded her the location pin. Basketball game. Have you ever been to one of his games? She asked. No. The gym was loud. I found Alex and Kevin sitting in a corner of the bleachers. The varsity team was playing an intra-squad game. Alex was staring intently at the court, his fingers unconsciously tapping his knee. A tall kid wearing number 11 hit a three-pointer, and Alex shot up, yelling yes. When he sat down, he saw me. He froze. Dad, I was in the area. I sat down next to him. Kevin leaned over. Hey, Mr. Miller. Alex was a little uncomfortable. What are you? Just watching, I said. Number 11 stole the ball and scored on a fast break. Alex jumped up again, forgetting I was there. Nice. When he sat down, he bumped into me. Oh, sorry. Number 11 is good, I said. He's the captain. Probably going to get a scholarship. Alex's eyes were still glued to the court. You could probably try out. He scoffed. Me? No way. You were on the team in middle school. I quit a long time ago. What? He was quiet for a moment. You guys were fighting all the time back then. I couldn't focus. The final whistle blew. The crowd started to file out. Let's go, Alex said, getting up. Wait, I stopped him. You want to play? He looked down and kicked an empty water bottle. A little. After school tomorrow, I'll pick you up. I'm taking you somewhere. The next afternoon, I drove to an outdoor court in the suburbs. It was a concrete court, the rims a little rusty, but the nets were new. I got a new basketball out of the trunk and tossed it to him. Try it out. He caught it, dribbled a couple of times, and took a jump shot. It clanked off the rim. Rusty, he said, jogging to get the ball. He shot again. This time it went in. I took off my jacket and sat on the sideline. Game. He raised an eyebrow. You, first to 21. You think you can handle it, old man? He started dribbling, crossing over, then suddenly drove past me. I cut him off. He pivoted and hit a fadeaway jumper. The ball bounced off the rim. My. I grabbed the rebound and shot from behind the three-point line. Swish. Nothing but net. He whistled. Not bad. I get by. The sun went down, stretching our shadows across the court. We sat on the sideline, breathing heavily. The final score was 21-19. He won. You let me win, he said, chugging a bottle of water. No, I didn't. You didn't even jump on that last shot. Couldn't. I'm getting old. He smiled, a rare sight. My phone rang. Linda, where are you two? He's not home. He's with me. Doing what? Playing basketball. A 2-second pause on the other end. Oh, what time will you be back? Soon. I hung up. Alex looked at me. Ma. Yeah. Asking when we'd be home. He stood up, brushing the dust off his pants. Let's go then. He picked up the basketball. Can I keep this? It's yours. We pulled up to our building. Linda's car was parked on the street. She rolled down her window. You're all sweaty. Go take a shower. Alex nodded, holding the ball, and went inside. I stood by her car window. Something wrong. She handed me a file folder. The new deed for the house. It's finalized. I took it. And this. She handed me a small pill bottle. Vitamins. Alex forgot them. Thanks. She didn't leave right away. Was he happy? She asked. Playing ball. Yeah. He won. He was happy. The corner of her mouth twitched into a small smile before disappearing. Next time. Invite me. Okay. She drove off. I held the pill bottle. The cap was loose. Saturday morning, the doorbell rang. Alex opened it. Linda was standing there in a tracksuit, holding a new basketball. Let's go. Alex was stunned. Where? The court. She glanced at me. We talked about it, right? At the outdoor court. We were just shooting around. Linda's form was awkward. She threw up an airball. Alex laughed out loud. Mom, you're terrible. It's been a while. She retrieved the ball. Your dad tried to teach me once. It didn't stick. I'll teach you. Alex ran over. Flick your wrist like this. She mimicked his motion and shot. It hit the backboard. Better, Alex said. I stood at the three-point line, watching them. The ball rolled to my feet. Linda waved me over. You show us how it's done. I picked up the ball and jumped. It missed. Alex roared with laughter. Dad, you're rusty too. Linda laughed with him. The sun was bright in my eyes. That night, after Alex was asleep, I was getting my sneakers ready. A lace snapped. My phone lit up. A text from Linda. Next Saturday, he might have something. What? Parent-teacher conference. Didn't you see the group chat? Forgot. A few minutes passed. What about Sunday? That works. 9 in the morning. Sure. The conversation paused. Another message came through. Your lace is broken. You should replace it. You could trip. I picked up the shoe. How did she know? I looked out the window. Her car was still parked downstairs. The engine wasn't on, but the taillights were glowing like two red eyes. Monday morning, Alex handed me a piece of paper before he left. Notice for the conference. Friday night. I know. They posted it in the group chat. He hesitated. Kevin's mom is on the parents' committee. She talks a lot. Okay, if she says anything about me, don't argue with her. Why would I? He scratched his head. Just, Ignore her. He slung his backpack over his shoulder and left. Friday night, in the classroom. As predicted, Kevin's mom came over. Mr. Miller, right? Alex has been making great progress lately. Thanks. Ms. Harris isn't here. I'm covering. The teacher started her presentation, the projector displaying a chart of grade distributions. Alex's name was in the middle, with a 62 in math. Kevin's mom leaned in again. I heard that you and Ms. Harris. I turned to look at her. We're in a parent-teacher conference. She was taken aback, then gave a tight smile and sat up straight. After the meeting, the teacher asked me to stay. Alex got a passing grade in math. He's improving quickly. Good, but his other subjects are still slipping, especially English. She handed me a report card. He got a 43. I see, Ms. Harris has been. I'm handling his schoolwork. I cut her off. If you need anything, contact me. The teacher nodded. When I got home, the light in Alex's room was on. I knocked and went in. He was playing a game. 43. In English? His fingers didn't stop moving. Yeah. What? Don't get it. Which part? All of it. I picked up his English textbook from his desk and flipped to the back. The vocabulary list was practically untouched. Starting tomorrow, 10 words a day. His character died in the game. He put down his phone. I can't remember them. I'll help you. He looked up at me. You're good at English? I passed the advanced proficiency exam. He was stunned for a moment. What about Mom? She passed the basic one. I tutored her. He scoffed. You're full of it. It's true. A voice came from the doorway. Linda was standing there. I didn't know how long she'd been there. Your dad forced me to memorize vocabulary every single day. She walked in and picked up the English book. He was stricter than any teacher. Alex looked at her, then at me. So you two met studying? No, Linda said, putting the book down. We met arguing. He made fun of my accent. It was bad, I added. Yours was worse. Alex looked between us and suddenly smiled. All right, fine. 10 words a day. Saturday morning was vocabulary drills. Alex sat at the desk. I sat on the edge of the bed. Abandon. To give up. Again. Abandon. To give up. He threw his pen down. This word is impossible. Linda's voice came from a doorway. You're giving up on the first word? She walked in with a plate of sliced fruit. I got stuck on this one, too. She speared a piece of apple with a fork and put it in Alex's mouth. Your dad told me if I couldn't remember it, I couldn't eat. Alex chewed on the apple. And then what? And then I remembered it. She glanced at me and threw his dinner in the trash. Alex laughed out loud. Keep going, I said, tapping the word list. Abandon, Alex recited. To give up, we both said at the same time. Sunday was the vocabulary test. Alex got 3 wrong. Not bad, I said. Linda pulled out her phone. For a reward, pick a movie. Alex scrolled through the options. This one? Sci-fi. Okay, we said in unison. The theater went dark. The sound of explosions was deafening. Alex sat between us. The popcorn bucket passed back and forth. Halfway through, I noticed Linda had fallen asleep. Her head slowly tilted toward me, her breathing light. I didn't move. Alex suddenly leaned over and whispered, Dad, yeah, Mom's asleep. I know. Do you want to? The light from a screen flickered across his face, his expression a little tense. What? Nothing. He turned back to the movie. I realized the popcorn bucket was now entirely in my lap. The lights came up. Linda woke with a start. Is it over? Yeah, Alex said, standing up. The spaceship blew up at the end. Spoiler alert. She rubbed her eyes. As we were leaving, Alex suddenly grabbed my arm. Dad, what? Was the popcorn good? It was okay. You have some sugar on your lip. He reached up and quickly wiped the corner of my mouth. His fingers were dry. He winked at me and ran to catch up with Linda. Mom, where are we eating dinner? I fell behind, touching my lip. There was nothing there. Monday was the English pop quiz. The teacher texted me the score, 76. I forwarded it to Linda. She replied, thumbs up. That evening, Alex burst through the door, waving the quiz paper. Did you see? I did. Kevin only got a 68. His voice was triumphant. Vocabulary drills continue. I know. He went to his room, humming. My phone buzzed. Linda, that wasn't easy. I replied. You taught him. You were there with him. The conversation ended there. 5 minutes later, another text. I'll go to the parent-teacher conference on Friday. Okay, you can take a break. Sounds good. Friday evening, Linda arrived early. She stood by the living room window, looking at her phone, the screen's glow reflecting on the glass. The photo album was sticking out slightly. About the conference. You go, I said. She was silent for a moment. Kevin's mom will probably have a lot to say. Let her. Alex opened his door. His uniform collar flipped up. Linda instinctively reached out and fixed it for him. Did you study your words? Yep. He let her straighten his collar. Mom, are you going alone? Yeah. What if the teacher talks about my English grade? I'll just tell her I'm the one who taught you. She patted his shoulder. I'm off. The door closed. Alex looked at me. You're really not going? It's better if your mom goes. He muttered. She's definitely going to argue with the teacher again. 2 hours later, Linda returned. Her expression was calm. Alex shot up from his chair. How did it go? English 76, Math 71, and you passed language arts. Did the teacher say anything about me? She did. What? She said Alex Miller has been acting like a human being lately. Alex froze, then a wide grin spread across his face. Linda took a piece of paper from her bag. Here's your homework list for the weekend. I already signed it. Alex took it and looked it over. Parent-teacher conference notes. You wrote these? Yep. The page was covered in tiny script with notes in red and blue pen. There's so much. Your dad, and I divided it up. She pointed to an underlined section. He's in charge of math. I'm in charge of English and language arts. Alex looked up, his gaze shifting between us. Okay, Saturday at 7 a.m. The doorbell rang. Linda stood there with breakfast and a stack of printed materials. I reorganized the vocabulary list by root words. Alex opened the door, rubbing his eyes. Mom, it's so early. Eat, then we start. 2 hours of English, then math. I took the coffee from her. What time did you get up? 5. She walked in and spread out the papers. He has to memorize this entire Roots series this week. Alex groaned. That's going to kill me. It won't kill you. She handed him a bagel. I used to memorize 200 words a day. Alex looked at me for confirmation. I nodded. It's true. She got a fever right after. Linda glared at me. Are you trying to undermine me? Just stating a fact. Alex suddenly laughed, taking a huge bite of his bagel. He was on the third root word when he slumped over the table. Up. Andon. Linda tapped the table. Sit up straight. He struggled to sit up. Mom, can we try a different method? Like what? How'd you do it back then? Linda hesitated. I forgot. Dad. She wrote them out. Filled a whole notebook. Linda frowned. Don't bring up that stupid method. It worked, didn't it? I found a blank notebook. You can start today. Alex resignedly took the notebook. The scratch of his pen filled the room. Linda stood behind him, watching, then suddenly reached out. Relax your wrist. You're going to get a cramp writing like that. She gently guided his wrist for a few strokes. Mom, your handwriting is pretty good. Your dad said it was messy. It's all right, I said. She shot me a quick glance. Sunday night. Alex held up the notebook filled with words. Finished. Linda took it to check. Time for a quiz. He missed 2 out of 10. Copy these 20 words again. Now, while Alex was hunched over, copying, her phone rang. She glanced at it and declined the call. It rang again. She got up and went to the balcony to answer. I could vaguely hear her voice. Not necessary. I said no. Alex's pen stopped. He looked at me. I tapped the table. Keep going. The balcony door slid open. Linda came back in, her expression normal. Who was that? Alex asked. A telemarketer. She took his notebook. This is too sloppy. Do it again. Alex groaned. Mom, it won't help to call me Grandma. Monday during English class, there was a pop quiz. The teacher texted me. Alex got a 91, third in the class. I slid my phone across the dinner table to Alex. His eyes widened. For real? Yeah. He jumped up and grabbed the phone. I'm telling Mom. He put the call on speaker. Mom, I got a 91. I saw. What are you getting so excited about? His voice dropped. You already knew. The teacher texted me first. Her tone was flat. Keep it up. The call ended. Alex held his phone, but a smile played on his lips. She's definitely happy, he said. How can you tell? She hangs up fast when she's happy. I raised an eyebrow. It's true, he said, looking down at his plate. I've noticed. Friday was the basketball championship game. Alex told me the school team made it to the Final Four. What time? I asked. For in the afternoon. He hesitated. Are you coming? Yeah. A text from Linda came in at the same time. Are you going to the final? Yes. I'll be there at 3. The gym was packed and deafening. Linda was sitting 3 rows over from me. The captain, number 11, was on fire. Alex was yelling himself hoarse from the sidelines. 3 seconds left, the score was tied. Number 11 was double-teamed. The ball was passed to an open player in the corner. Alex suddenly shot up. Shoot! The player hesitated for a second, then took the shot. The ball banked in off the backboard. The buzzer sounded. They won. The crowd went wild. Alex rushed the court to hug his teammates. I don't know when Linda had come to stand beside me. I didn't think they'd win. Me neither. Her eyes followed Alex as he jumped up and down on the court. He's more excited than the players. It's good to see. She suddenly gave a small laugh. You look just like you did watching the NBA back in the day. I turned to look at her. She didn't look back, still watching the court. You threw the remote at the wall during the finals. The Rockets lost. I know. Alex ran up into the stands, covered in sweat. We won. Linda handed him a water bottle. You were screaming your head off. He chugged the water, laughing. You were louder than me, Mom. That's not true. It is. On that last shot, you yelled, "Shoot it," so loud. A faint blush appeared on Linda's cheeks. I did not. I nodded. You did. She shot me a glare, but didn't deny it. After the game, Alex was dragged off by his teammates to celebrate. Linda checked her watch. I'm heading back. I'll give you a ride. No need. She walked toward the exit, then stopped. Next weekend, she didn't turn around. Should we take him hiking? Which mountain? The old spot. Too many stairs. He'll complain. Then forget it. I'll go, I said. She turned her head slightly. Whatever. Her figure disappeared into the light of the exit. I took out my phone and checked the weather. Sunny next weekend. 68 degrees. Perfect for a hike. Saturday morning, Alex came out of his room, rubbing his eyes. Dad, there's a pair of hiking boots at the door. They're yours. He was stunned. Mine. Size 7. Your mom dropped them off. A sticky note was on the shoe box. Non-slip. I tested them. Alex tried them on. Perfect fit. My phone buzzed. A text from Linda. Are you guys up? I replied, putting on our shoes. See you at the trailhead at 7. At the base of the mountain, Linda was already there in full athletic gear, a backpack on. She tossed Alex a sports drink. For your electrolytes. Then she handed me a thermos. Coffee. No sugar. Alex twisted the cap and took a sip. Mom, you're a real pro. Just start climbing. The stone steps were steep. Alex bolted ahead. Linda followed at an angle behind me, her breathing steady. Your stamina is still pretty good, she said. Yours too. I go to the gym every week. I figured. Halfway up the mountain, Alex yelled down. Hurry up. You guys are like snails. By the time we reached the summit, the fog hadn't lifted yet. Alex collapsed onto a bench at the scenic overlook. I'm exhausted. Linda pulled sandwiches from her backpack. Eat. Protein. She handed one to me. Yours is ham and egg. Alex munched on his sandwich. Mom, when did you make these? This morning. What time did you get up? Just mind your own business. The fog slowly began to dissipate, revealing the city skyline. Alex suddenly pointed into the distance. Our old house was over there, right? Linda and I both went silent. Right there. To the left of that building with the silver roof. Yeah, Linda said quietly. Alex looked between us. You know, from up here, it doesn't seem so bad. Linda twisted the cap off her water bottle. What doesn't? The divorce. The plastic cap fell to the ground. I bent down to pick it up. Let's go, Linda said, zipping up her backpack. Going down is harder. On the way down, Alex's legs were shaking. Linda handed him a hiking pole. Use this. Where'd this come from? I always bring it. She walked just behind him, occasionally reaching out a hand to steady him. I slowed my pace and followed behind them. At a steep section, Alex's foot slipped. Linda grabbed his arm with surprising speed. Watch your step. He regained his footing. You scare me. She let go. Her fingertips were trembling slightly. Mom, your hands are freezing. It's cold in the mountains. In the parking lot at the base, Alex collapsed in the back seat. I'm never hiking again. Linda turned from the driver's seat. We're coming back next month. What? Your stamina is terrible. You need to train. She started the car, and warm air blasted from the vents. Alex suddenly leaned forward. Mom, are you taking me home? What else would I do? I thought you'd just drop me at the subway station. Be quiet and rest. The car got on the highway, and Alex quickly fell asleep. At a red light, Linda glanced in the rearview mirror. He snores. Just like you. That's not true. The light turned green, and she accelerated gently. The car stopped in front of our building. Alex was still asleep. Linda didn't turn off the engine. Wake him up. I gently shook Alex. We're here. He groggily opened his eyes. Mom, you want to come up for a bit? No. Oh, thanks, Mom. He got out of the car, rubbing his eyes, and walked into the building. Linda watched his retreating back. His English score dropped a little. 87. I know. He needs to keep up with his vocabulary. Okay. Her fingers tapped on the steering wheel. I bought a new set of practice tests. I'll bring them over tomorrow. What time? The usual. She put the car in drive. I'm going. As she drove away, one of her taillights flickered, as if in hesitation. Sunday afternoon, the doorbell rang. Alex opened it. Mom. Linda came in, holding a paper bag. New question formats. They're definitely on the exam. Alex groaned. I just got back from playing basketball. Good. Now you can focus. She pulled out a workbook. One wrong answer. You do 5 extra problems. Isn't that a little harsh? I'll do them with you. She sat down at the dining table and took out a red pen. Alex resignedly started writing. I placed a glass of water next to her. She didn't look up, but her pen paused for a second. Thanks. The sunlight moved across the test paper. There was a thin sheen of sweat on her temple. Alex suddenly looked up. Mom, your mascara is smudged. She shot up and looked at her reflection in the refrigerator door. Why didn't you say so sooner? I was trying to focus on my work. She grabbed a tissue and wiped under her eyes. This test is really hard. Alex snickered. Actually, it's not smudged. She glared at him but sat back down, visibly relieved. Finish your work. And no more talking. He was on his third round of corrections when he threw down his pen. I'm done. I can't get this right. Linda tapped the table. Pick it up. No. She picked up the workbook. Then I'm leaving. Alex froze. She was actually walking toward the door. Mom. She stopped but didn't turn back. I'll do it, he said, his voice small. She came back and put the book down. Why are you throwing a tantrum? I'm tired. Who isn't? Her voice suddenly rose. I work until midnight to find these practice tests for you. Your dad stays up with you every night. Do you hear us complaining that we're tired? Alex looked down, his fists clenched. I'm sorry. Linda took a deep breath, her voice softening. Continue. The scratching sound of the red pen started up again. I stood in the kitchen doorway. The water on the stove had boiled over, and I hadn't even noticed. He finally finished. The sky outside was completely dark. Alex collapsed on the sofa. I'm starving. Linda packed her bag. I'm leaving. Let's order delivery, Mom. You can stay. No, but then the doorbell rang. A delivery driver stood there. Order for Miller? 3 combos. Alex looked at me. I shook my head. Linda spoke up. I ordered it. We can study more after we eat. Alex cheered. When we opened the containers, it was all simple, healthy food. Mom, how did you know I wanted this? You said the cafeteria food was too greasy. Alex dug in, mumbling with his mouth full. You're the best, Mom. Linda's chopsticks paused. Don't try to flatter me. After dinner, Linda really did leave. Alex watched from the window until her taillights disappeared. Dad, yeah, I think Mom was crying today. When we were doing the corrections, I saw something shining on her face when she turned her head. My hand, wiping a bowl, stopped. You saw wrong. Maybe. He hopped down from the windowsill. But I've decided I'm not going to make her mad anymore. He picked up his backpack. I'm going to review the problems again. The bedroom door closed. I reached for my phone, then put it down. The night sky outside was starless, like a damp cloth. Monday after school, Alex didn't come straight home. His phone's GPS showed him at a bookstore downtown. When I got there, he was squatting in the test prep aisle, flipping through a book. Dad, he looked up. What are you? Just passing by. What are you buying? English practice exams. He held up a book. Mom said this one is good. I took it and flipped through it. This looks a little advanced. She said to challenge myself. While we were in line at the register, he suddenly tugged on my sleeve. Is that? Mom. Through the glass window, Linda was walking into the coffee shop across the street. A man in a suit stood up from a table and waved to her. That's not a client, Alex whispered. She always meets clients at the office. When they raised their coffee cups, the man's fingers brushed against hers. She leaned back slightly. During dinner, Alex was distracted. Is the food too salty? Huh? No. He took his last bite. Dad, has Mom been? The phone rang. It was Linda. I put on speaker. Did you buy the exam book? Alex leaned closer. Yeah, but it looks really hard. It's supposed to be hard, she said, a smile in her voice. I just discovered this coffee shop has amazing tiramisu. I'll take you next time. Alex suddenly asked. Mom, who are you having coffee with? A 2-second silence on the other end. A client. Oh, the one in the blue suit. A longer pause. You saw me. Uh-huh. She cleared her throat. I'm coming over tomorrow to watch you do the practice problems. One wrong answer, you do 10 extra. The line went dead. Alex grinned. She's panicking. The next day, Linda arrived early. She walked in carrying a whole bag of prep books. These need to be finished by the end of the month. Alex's eyes widened. That's going to kill me. It won't kill you. She pulled out a math book. Start with this one. Mom, about yesterday. Do your work. The entire afternoon, she was unusually strict. For every wrong answer, he had to explain his mistake, and his scratch paper had to be numbered and checked. Alex snuck a glance at her face. Mom, that guy in a blue suit. Her red pen slammed down. Alex Miller. Yes. If you bring up anything irrelevant again, you'll be copying the entire textbook. He shrank back and buried his head in his work. Her phone vibrated on the table several times. She declined the calls and placed it face down. During a break, Alex snuck into the kitchen. Dad, there's definitely something going on, he whispered. She's in a super bad mood today. I washed a cup. Maybe she's busy with work. I don't think so. He bit into an apple. Her phone lit up for a second, and her screensaver was a picture of a rose. The running water felt hot on my hand. Go do your work. He grumbled and went back. Linda was texting, her fingers flying. When she saw Alex, she immediately locked the screen. Break's over. At 8 p.m., he was finally done. Alex collapsed on the sofa. Mom, I'm starving. Linda packed her bag. Make yourself some noodles. What kind of cake did the blue suit guy buy you? The zipper on her bag made a sharp sound. Tiramisu. Was it good? Too sweet. She walked to the door. We'll continue tomorrow. The door closed. Alex jumped up and started digging through the trash. What are you doing? She threw out the coffee shop receipt. He unfolded it. 2 orders of tiramisu. She lied. On the back of the receipt, in messy handwriting, was a note. Same time tomorrow. There was no signature. Friday night, Linda called. I have something tomorrow. I can't make it. Alex leaned into the phone. What is it? Work. With the blue suit guy? Goodbye. The line disconnected abruptly. Alex looked at me. Dad, yeah, we have to go check it out. It's not our business. What if she's on a date? I grabbed my car keys. Get changed. We sat in the car in a parking lot across from the coffee shop. Alex chewed on his fingernails. Do you think she'll show? I don't know. An hour later, Linda appeared. Alone. She sat at a table by the window, ordered a coffee, and started looking through some documents. Alex was disappointed. It really is work. Just then, a sports car pulled up. The man in the blue suit got out, holding a bouquet of flowers, and walked into the coffee shop. Linda looked up, surprised. The man offered her the flowers. She didn't take them. Alex sat up straight. She's going to reject him. The man tried to take her hand. She pulled back. I opened the car door. Dad, what are you doing? Getting a coffee. The bell on the coffee shop door jingled as I walked in. Linda saw me and froze. The man in the blue suit turned around. And you are? I held out my hand. Her ex-husband. The man stiffened. Linda suddenly linked her arm through mine. Perfect timing. We just finished up. She nodded at the man. Email me the proposal. I don't talk business during my personal time. The man forced a smile, picked up his flowers, and left. I pulled my arm away. You don't have to put on a show. I do, she said, dropping her arm. He's been harassing me for 2 weeks. Alex rushed in. Mom, are you okay? She glared at him. Why are you here too? Alex was speechless. I turned to leave. We're going. Wait. Linda grabbed her bag. Let's go together. In a lower voice, she said, thanks. In the parking lot, she followed us to the car. Can you give me a ride? Alex tugged on my sleeve. I nodded. No one spoke in the car. Alex couldn't hold it in any longer. Mom, who is that guy? A vice president from a partner company. Is he hitting on you? Not interested. Alex snuck a glance at me. Oh, she suddenly asked. How did you guys find that place? Alex stammered. I cut in. We guessed. She didn't ask any more questions. When we stopped in front of her building, she turned back before getting out. Same time tomorrow. Practice tests. Alex groaned. More. Double. The next day, she arrived on time, carrying a stack of new workbooks. Alex resignedly started working. Her phone rang. She glanced at it and turned it off. Annoying. For lunch, she ordered delivery, naturally getting 3 meals. As we were finishing, Alex suddenly asked, Mom, what if the blue suit guy keeps bothering you? She snapped her chopsticks apart. I'll find a new supplier. What if he... Alex, yeah, are you done with your work? Alex shut his mouth and ate his food. The sunlight glinted off her powered-down phone, the screen as black as a mirror. Wednesday evening, there was an urgent ringing at the door. Alex opened it to find Linda standing there, her face pale. Mom. She walked straight in and threw her phone on the sofa. Mike Johnson was arrested. I put down my newspaper. Which Mike Johnson? The realtor who sold our house. For fraud. Alex was stunned. So our house. The sale might be voided. She rubbed her temples. The buyer's down payment is gone. He took it. Her phone started buzzing violently. The name Tom Baker flashed on the screen. She declined to call. That's the 17th time. Have you called a lawyer? I asked. I'm trying to reach one now. She took a deep breath. But the evidence isn't in our favor. Alex suddenly interjected. The contract. What about the contract we signed? Linda pointed to the den. In a file box. The blue one. We rushed into the den and started digging. Papers flew everywhere. Found it. Alex pulled out the file folder. Linda quickly flipped through it, stopping at the signature page. It's over. What is it? Mike signed an addendum on our behalf. We never authorized it. She pointed to a line of fine print. An additional $30,000 renovation credit to be paid by the buyer, wired directly to the realtor's personal account. The phone rang again, sharp and piercing. The buyers, the Bakers, showed up at our door. The young couple's eyes were red. Mr. Miller, you have to explain this. Linda stood in front of me. We're victims too. You signed a contract, the man yelled, waving a copy. It's in black and white. Alex suddenly cut in. Sir, who did you wire that $30,000 to? To Mike. But you approved the agreement. Linda took the contract and examined it closely. The page numbers on this copy are wrong. Page 3 has been replaced. The woman started to cry. That was our life savings. Linda was silent for a moment, then turned and dialed a number. Mr. Davis, I need you to come over. She looked at us. We're going to cover their $30,000 for now. I frowned. Why? Because it's the right thing to do, she said, her eyes sharp. Could you sleep at night otherwise? Alex whispered. Mom's right. I wrote the check, my fingers stiff. Before the lawyer arrived, Linda made tea. The young couple had calmed down a little. We really had no idea. The woman sobbed. The down payment was for my parents selling their house. Linda handed her tissue. They've caught Mike. The money might be recovered. The man looked up. What about the $30,000? We're covering it for you, I said, pushing the check across the table. They stared at it, speechless. Linda added, but on the condition that you cooperate with us as witnesses. If you agree, sign this. She pulled out a newly drafted agreement. The couple looked at each other and quickly signed. By the time the lawyer arrived, things had been temporarily resolved. After everyone left, Linda collapsed on the sofa. Alex draped a blanket over her. Mom, you're like a superhero back there. She closed her eyes. Don't talk. My head hurts. I offered her an ibuprofen. She didn't take it, but suddenly asked, Did you write down the check number? I did. Good. She finally took the pill. Thanks. Late that night, Alex knocked on my door. Dad, I think Mom has a fever. In the living room, Linda was curled up on the sofa, the blanket having slipped off. Her forehead was burning. I found a first aid kit. The thermometer read 102. Should we go to the hospital? She opened her eyes. No, I'll just take some medicine. Alex brought her a glass of warm water. You're probably sick from all the stress. She swallowed the pill and gave a weak laugh. It's karma. What karma? When we bought our house. Her voice was faint. We pressured the previous owner to lower the price. Alex was confused. Why? Because we were broke. She pulled the blanket up to her chin. Just like that, couple. The thermometer beeped. 102. 4. I grabbed my car keys. We have to go to the hospital. She struggled to sit up. It's too much trouble. Alex suddenly crouched down. Mom, I'll carry you. She froze. Hurry up. He turned his back to her. I'm on the track team. She slowly got on his back. She was so light. In the light of the parking garage, Alex's steps were steady. She suddenly whispered, You've grown up. Alex's ears turned red. Don't talk. Save your strength. Emergency room. For drip. Linda fell asleep. Alex stared at the bag. Dad, yeah, Mom hasn't really changed. How so? She's still such a softie. He tugged on the hem of his shirt. Why did you guys get divorced? The drip of the 4 was the only sound. We were tired. Who was tired? Both of us. He was quiet for a moment. And now? Linda suddenly mumbled in her sleep. The contract. Page 3. We both looked at her. Her brow was furrowed, her hand grasping at the air. Alex gently took her hand. Go to sleep, Mom, he whispered. We're here. Her breathing evened out. Outside, the sky was beginning to lighten. At 3 a.m., the hospital hallway was bathed in a sterile white light. The intercom at the nurse's station crackled to life. Family for bed 17. Alex and I shot up at the same time. Linda's heart monitor was blaring. A doctor rushed into the room. Her blood pressure is dropping. Get the pressors. The curtain was pulled shut, but we could see the frantic movement of several people inside. Alex grabbed my arm. Dad, we wait. 10 minutes later, the doctor came out. She had a sudden episode of AFib. She's stable now, but we're moving her to the CCU for observation. A nurse wheeled the bed out. Linda's face was ashen, her eyes closed. Alex ran alongside the bed. Mom, can you hear me? Her finger twitched. The CCU had restricted visiting hours. Alex pressed his face to the small window in the door. I can't see her. We'll take turns, I said, pulling him into a chair. You rest first. I can't sleep. He pulled out his phone. I'm going to look up AFib. The page loaded slowly. A nurse came out. Family of Linda Harris? We need you to fill out some paperwork. I stood up. Alex followed. I'll fill it out. The forms were complicated. He wrote quickly, his handwriting messy. He paused at the relationship line, then wrote son. When he handed it in, the nurse asked, Have you contacted the patient's employer? Alex looked at me. I took the clipboard. I'll handle it. Early the next morning, Linda's colleague arrived with a fruit basket and a stack of files. Director Harris's phone is off, and clients have been calling nonstop. The CCU door opened a crack. I slipped inside. Linda was awake, an oxygen tube in her nose. She weakly raised a hand and pointed outside. Her colleague leaned toward the door. Director Harris? The Henderson account needs to be signed urgently. Her lips moved. I leaned in to listen. Authorize, David. Authorize, Mr. Miller, her colleague asked, surprised. I shook my head. I don't know anything about your business. Linda gripped my wrist, her strength surprising. Her gaze was insistent. Her colleague hesitated. This is highly. She gasped for breath. Trust. Him. Alex suddenly spoke up from the doorway. My dad reviewed a contract for my friend's family business last year. Linda nodded and let go of my wrist. The colleague handed me a tablet. If you could, Mr. Miller. I signed the electronic authorization by her bedside. The beep of the monitor was a steady rhythm accompanying the scratch of the stylus. During visiting hours that afternoon, Linda seemed a bit better. Alex held up the tablet. Mom, Dad closed 3 deals for you. She glanced at the screen. The quotes were too low. Dad negotiated them down. The clients signed immediately. She raised an eyebrow at me. Not bad. A nurse came in to change the 4. The patient needs to rest her voice. Alex leaned closer. Mom, you scared us to death. She reached out and patted his head. I'm okay. The gesture was so uncharacteristic, it caught her off guard. Alex's eyes welled up. Don't pass out again. I'll try. She pulled her hand back. Your homework. I brought it. He pulled a workbook from his backpack. I'll do it right here. Under the CCU lights, he spread out his math paper. She squinted at it. Number 3 is wrong. What? I haven't even started it yet. Mental math. She closed her eyes. Do it again. At 8 p.m. The doctor wanted to speak with me. The cause was stress-induced cardiomyopathy, a combination of long-term anxiety and a sudden shock. What's the prognosis? She'll be fine with proper rest, but she can't handle any more major stress. When I returned to the room, Alex was reading his English textbook to Linda. His pronunciation was clumsy, and she frowned. The accent is on the wrong syllable. Mom, you're the patient. My ears aren't. I sat down. The doctor said you need to rest. Her eyes shot to mine. What about the lawsuit? The lawyer is handling it. And the buyers, they haven't cashed. It's different. How is it different? Because you're lying here. His voice cracked. I was afraid you were going to die. The monitor beeped faster. A nurse poked her head in. No agitation. Linda took a deep breath and held out her hand. Give me the test paper. Mom, I'll watch you work. I won't get upset. Under the warm, yellow light of CCU, her fingertip tapped the paper as she quietly explained the problem. Alex wrote furiously. The rhythm of the monitor gradually steadied. A week later, Linda was discharged. The doctor handed us the bill. Stress-induced cardiomyopathy. She needs to manage her emotions. Alex grabbed the bag of prescriptions. Mom, let me help you. She pushed him away gently. I can walk. At the door to her apartment, she suddenly stopped. I forgot my key. I pulled her key out of my pocket. The nurse gave it to me this morning. She took it. Thanks. Alex whispered to me, Dad, you been to Mom's place? To drop off some clean clothes. The door opened to a clean, cold apartment. Alex frowned. Mom, your place looks like a hotel. It's quiet. She sank onto the sofa. Any news on the lawsuit? Just then, the lawyer called. Mike Johnson confessed, admitted to forging the agreement. She put him on speaker, and $30,000 of the stolen funds have been recovered. It will go to the buyers first. What about us? You can get the realtor's commission back, but you'll have to wait for the verdict. She rubbed her temples. How long? At least 6 months. The call ended. Alex jumped up. At least we're getting the money back. But she was looking at me. Did they cash the check? No. They returned it this morning. She let out a breath, then shot up again. Midterm grades. Alex clutched his backpack. We can talk about it tomorrow. Now. The report card was spread on the table. Math, 78. English, 92. Linda's finger tapped the math test. All your mistakes are careless errors. Alex muttered, it's an improvement. Not enough. I only did well because you were in the hospital. She paused. Why? I was afraid you'd get angry and die. She was speechless, then started coughing. I handed her a glass of water. Get some rest. She pushed it away. Copy the wrong answers 10 times. Now, Alex groaned. You're the patient, and you're the student. They compromised 5 times with her supervising from the sofa. As the sunlight streamed into the living room, her eyelids grew heavy. Alex whispered, Dad, Mom's asleep. I see. Blanket. I handed him the blanket, and he gently covered her. Amidst the soft scratching of his pen, her breathing was steady. At 8 p.m., Linda woke up. What time is it? 7:50, Alex said, showing her his notebook. Done. She checked it. You missed number 3. I did that on purpose. He grinned slyly. Otherwise, how would you know if I was checking my work carefully? She tapped his head. Smart Alec. The doorbell rang. It was food delivery. 3 servings of soup, garnished with cilantro, which she hated. She raised an eyebrow. You ordered this? Alex pointed at me. Dad did. So the doctor told you to eat light. She picked out the cilantro. The doctor didn't tell him to poison me. But she lowered her head and started to eat. After dinner, she'd shoot us out. Go home. Alex lingered. Mom, you'll be all alone. I won't die. As we were leaving, she called out, We're having lasagna tomorrow. Alex turned back. What kind? Sausage. Your favorite. The door closed. Alex grinned. Mom remembered. The next day, no one answered the door. I called her phone, and we could hear it ringing inside. Alex panicked. You don't think she fainted again, do you? I found the spare key she had slipped me when she was discharged. We opened the door to find Linda slumped on the floor next to the sofa, her face pale. Low blood sugar, she said, pointing to the kitchen. The sugar jar is empty. Alex rushed to the cabinets. Will honey work? She nodded. After a spoonful of honey, she started to feel better. I forgot to eat. Why? I was catching up on a project. She pointed her laptop. The lawsuit you two got me into made me fall behind. Alex took her laptop away. You need a rest now. I can't. The deadline is tonight. I'll help you, I said, sitting down to look at the screen. What are the requirements? She was stunned. You understand this? I used to help you with these things. Alex squeezed in between us. What about me? Make the lasagna, we said in unison. As the smell of sausage and garlic filled the apartment, the code was at a critical point. She suddenly stopped typing. This logic is wrong. I leaned over and changed a couple of lines. Like this? Yeah. Alex called out. It's ready. As the hot lasagna was served, she took a bite. Too salty. I put in the salt. Alex said proudly. Just like Grandma's recipe, right? She took another large bite, her throat moving as she swallowed. Yeah. Late that night, the project was finally submitted. Alex had fallen asleep on the sofa long ago. As Linda covered him with a blanket, she suddenly asked, Why did you help me? My son was afraid you'd die. And you? The beep of the heart monitor seemed to echo in my ears. I closed the laptop. We're leaving. She leaned against the doorframe. Tomorrow. The leftover sauce is in the fridge. Not that. She paused. The lawyer wants to meet. Together. What time? 10. Okay. As I closed the door, her voice came through the crack. Don't forget to refill the sugar jar. In the lawyer's conference room, the air conditioner hummed. The Baker couple was already there, the reimbursement check on the table in front of them. The lawyer pushed a document forward. Once you sign this, the down payment will be returned and the property title will revert to you. Linda picked up her pen. What about the commission? That's a separate lawsuit. I'd advise settling. Alex suddenly put his hand on hers. Mom, doesn't that mean we lose money? Mrs. Baker whispered. We lost more. Time and energy. Linda pulled her hand away. Add one more condition. Until Mike Johnson's criminal sentencing, we won't transfer the property title. The lawyer was taken aback. Why? For leverage, she said, glancing at the Bakers. To make sure everyone cooperates as witnesses. Mr. Baker nodded. That's reasonable. As she signed, her fountain pen leaked, staining her fingertip blue. Alex handed her a tissue. Mom, your hand is shaking. It's nothing. Outside the law office, the sun was blinding. Mrs. Baker suddenly ran after us. Mrs. Harris, thank you for helping us with the money. Linda waved her hand. It's in the past. The woman's voice was thick with emotion. We know you were sick. This is some ginseng. She tried to hand over a gift box, but Alex blocked it. The doctor said she can't take supplements. But Linda took it. I appreciate the thought. Stay strong with the case. On the way to the car, she gave the gift box to a homeless person. Alex grumbled. Why did you take it just to give it away? To give her peace of mind, she said, opening the car door. I'm going to the office. I started the car. The doctor said you need a rest. It's a conference call. The sound of typing started up from the back seat. By the time we hit a red light, she was asleep. Alex whispered, Dad, Mom's eyelashes are fluttering. She's dreaming. About what? In the rearview mirror, the corner of her mouth was turned up in a slight smile. The next morning, there was a knock on the door. Linda stood there with her laptop bag. My internet is down. Mind if I work here? Alex cheered. Mom, did you bring cake? A client gave it to me. She spread her files on the table. Now be quiet. The three of us took over the dining table. She typed, Alex did his homework, and I read the newspaper. Her phone rang, and she put on speaker. Go ahead. Director Harris, about the Blue Tech account. The discount rate on page 2 of the proposal is wrong. Resend it. But you haven't even seen. Mental math. She hung up. Alex looked at her with admiration. Mom, do you have superpowers? Practice makes perfect. She pulled his test paper toward her. You should try it. You keep making the same types of mistakes. He was speechless. I pushed a bowl of fruit toward her. Take a 10-minute break. She picked up a strawberry. Sour, but she ate 3 more. That weekend, a storm hit, and our balcony started leaking. Alex held a pot under the drip. Mom, is your place leaking too? On the video call, the sound of a dehumidifier buzzed in the background of Linda's apartment. Worse, I grabbed my toolbox. We'll be right over. When she opened the door, she was wrapped in a blanket. The floor of her living room was covered in a thin layer of water. The building manager said they can't fix it for 3 days. I found the source of the leak. Where's the main valve? In the kitchen, behind the fridge. As I worked on the pipe, she crouched beside me, handing me a wrench. To the left. That's it. The leak slowed to a trickle. She let out a breath. Thanks. Alex held up his phone, recording. Mom, you look like a high schooler without makeup. She tried to block the camera. Delete that. No way. I'm keeping it for blackmail. As they chased each other, she slipped on the wet floor. I caught her. The blanket fell off. Her ears were bright red. Let go. Alex snapped several pictures. How about the evidence? For a late-night meal, we ordered spicy Thai takeout. The chili fumes made Linda cough. Alex, you're not allowed to eat spicy food. Dad ordered it. She glared at me. Revenge. To warm us up, amidst the steam from the hot soup, she suddenly grew quiet. When our first apartment had a leak, you fixed it just like this. Alex leaned in. And then what? And then he had a cold for a week, she said, picking a piece of chicken out of the soup. I took care of him. How did you take care of him? Just eat your food. Alex grinned. Mom, your ears are red again. A wedding dress commercial came on the TV. She got up and turned it off. The sound of the rain drumming against the window filled the silence, along with the bubbling of the soup. She scooped up the last piece of beef and, without thinking, put it in my bowl. It's fatty. You finish it. Alex's eyes widened. I looked down and ate it. The spice burned my throat, but no one said a word.